Next, we're going to do a little abdominal workout at our desk. Have a seat that you can firmly grasp the side of the chair. Lean forward, and with your abdomen, bring your legs off the chair. That happens as you exhale, and then as you inhale, you relax down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, let your body down. It's pretty tough to do that in an office chair. This is called seat lifts for the experienced only. Some thoughts are experienced personally, while others are experienced externally. But all thoughts are ultimately my thoughts. I take responsibility for my own frame of mind. Good afternoon and welcome to my kitchen. I'm Allison Rollins. I'm going to share with you a system of nutrition that's worked well for me. What I like to do is take this moment and I'm in a good space to make wise decisions about my nutrition for the week to come. I use a divided bento box container where I create and store 3 salads as my lunch. Some of the ingredients I'll be preparing. First, the spices that I use, parsley and cumin and pepper and of course sea salt. I like the pink salt sprouts. This week I have mung bean and clover and some radish.
For me, wellness is a complete approach to my physical, my spiritual, and my astral body, and it's a practice.
It is a great passion of mine to share with others the practice of sacred chant, also known as ecstatic chant, because it brings on a sense of joy and euphoria for those who practice it. It's to drop into the heart, as it works on us vibrationally with the power of sound.
Research shows lifestyle choices can really help prevent chronic diseases such as heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes.
At Yoga Farm, we teach practices and tools that help our students and clients love and live in a healthy body, experience kindness of their mind, and to feel the rapture of being alive in their soul.
And along the way, our students cultivate the garden of their life.
I'm an acupuncturist specializing in NATE and Nambuja Pod's allergy elimination technique. Acupuncture has been used for thousands of years for the treatment of just about anything.
I'm an essential oils consultant and coach, and I teach about using very high-grade therapeutic essential oils for health and wellness.
Unfortunately, we're able to make really large financial mistakes these days. So people come in wanting to know, are they on the right track? What's preventing us from getting what we really want? Generally, it's emotions that are getting in our way. We track our expenses and we start to have plans and goals about how we're going to move forward. These are things that I help people do through simple.
I believe that when we are balanced in our mind, our body, and our spirit, and we seek wellness through spiritual practice, physical exercise, and critical thinking, we seem separate from the ocean, but we are all one being. Love your body, take control of your time, steward your finances, tune into your intuition, balance your mind, and calm your emotions. Teaching Ithaca Wellness. Making the decision about what I'm going to eat throughout the week now allows me to have made that wise nutrition decision. Not all of the ingredients are going to be used within 1 week. I have much more cilantro here than I'm actually going to use for this week's meal. I'm going to place it into a bin to stay nice and fresh. I'll probably have enough cilantro left over here. I may not have to buy this again next week. This is more spinach that I'm going to use in one set of meals. I have some macadamia nuts. Again, macadamia nuts, quite expensive, but this bag has lasted several weeks. So I have this beautiful and very sharp knife, which I use with this nice cutting board. This gives ideal cutting surface. When cutting carrots and radishes, I like to use this cheese plane. My set of nesting bowls in my containers. There's a large section, medium section, small section. I will use the smallest bowl for the largest section. In the largest section, I'll use the spinach and the sprouts, carrots and radishes garnished with these mushrooms and tomatoes. In this largest bowl, I'll make the farro salad, which will have the farro, the beets, and the beans in it. For the smallest section, I'll make a fruit salad, and I have an orange and 3 kiwis and an apple. Cut up the things that are dry, 4 things that are on the wetter side. I'm going to start with preparation of the topping for the salads, carrots, radishes, and these peppers on top of the spinach and the sprouts. There's also green onions and some celery. So I have carrots and mushrooms and radishes. I'm going to take 5 of these beautiful peppers and I'm going to set those out for last. So I have the mushrooms, I have the peppers, and I have the tomatoes, which are going to go on top of my salad as garnish. All right, so what I'm doing now is I'm cutting off any parts of the green onions that don't, slicing those off so that they're a nice fresh cut on the ends. So I've got the cilantro, I've got the green onions, and I've got some celery in here. And then I'm going to just kind of slice this all at once. One thing that happens frequently when you have things like celery, it can be very fibrous, and you'll get these fibrous ends. So a nice sharp knife is your best bet for avoiding that sort of thing. This has really been enough of these ingredients for both my topping to my spinach salad and in my farro salad. Fresh ground pepper, cumin, parsley flakes, salt. I use the cheese plane to get those even slices of radish. Okay, and I use the cheese plane to just very quickly make nice sliced carrots. Peppers. These are nice sweet peppers. This isn't going to add any heat to my salad. In my spinach salad, I'm going to add some sesame oil. I'm going to add some apple cider vinegar. And I'm going to add some sesame seeds. Our toppings for the spinach salad, got the sliced carrots and the radishes and all those beautiful sesame seeds. It's the only way that you can know 100% exactly what you're putting in your body is if you have grown it yourself. I use this sprouting jar to add some seeds that eventually become these sprouts. This week I have mung beans and clover and some daikon radish. I happen to have purchased this set of assorted seeds from Amazon, but you can purchase them locally. These are the broccoli, these are the daikon radish, these are the alfalfa seeds, these are a hard wheat, these are the clover, these are the garbanzo beans, these are the sunflower seeds, these are French lentils, these are adzuki, these are mung beans, and these are sweet peas. I like to combine some of the beans or legumes with something like one of these wild grasses. I don't like to have more than one of the more spicy, flavorful, like broccoli and the daikon radish can be quite flavorful. And the hard wheat can be a little bit on the fibrous side. As you'll notice, some of these will have a more fibrous root growing. Some of the larger seeds will produce those fibrous roots. So I like to make a combination like I have in this week's jar. I used fenugreek, which I used all the last of it. I used the broccoli and the alfalfa, and I also put in some sunflower seeds just as an accent. I put them in the jar, I'll add water, soak them overnight, and then throughout the week I will rinse those twice a day, and over 7 days time that lot of seeds will become this full container of sprouts. In my farro salad, I'm going to start with curled Italian farro, which I will boil for about 10 minutes and then drain. Black beans, these are organic black beans, which I'll drain and then rinse. And then I will also have some pickled beets. So I'm going to start with measuring out the farro, and I'm going to use 1 cup of farro. So I'm going to start by rinsing the farro out. Go through, giving it a nice long rinse with the filtered water. Got 1 cup of grain. We'll do 2 cups of water. And I'll just put that on the stove. Stir the farro. Now that it's boiling, I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes. And I'm going to turn that down to a medium temperature. And then open up a can of beans. Okay. So we've got our lovely organic, simply natural black beans. Here in the city, definitely have a strong chlorinated smell to the water, so I like to rinse that with the water that goes through the filter, and those go into our bowl. For my grain salad, I'm going to add diced ginger. Good fresh diced ginger really adds a nice tasty flavor to these salads. All right, so there is the farro. I'm just take that off the stove and run it through my strainer, and that goes right in to my beans and my cilantro. So now that gets a little bit of cumin, get some more salt, the extra virgin olive oil. Add to that a little bit of lemon juice and stir that right in. So in this salad, I'm also going to add some pickled beets and mushrooms. These mushrooms are quite large, which I'm going to dice up for the salad. Beets, take those out there, put those away for next time, and dice those up. Go right in the salad. So we have our grain salad, fruit salad. First, in our fruit salad, we're going to take some raisins and chia seeds, and we're going to put the raisins and the chia seeds into the bowl. Just sort of fill the bottom of the bowl, those nice and separated out. And then we'll just put a little bit of chia seeds and toss those around. The sticky raisins stick to the chia seeds, and they get kind of coated with the chia seeds in there. So each kiwi has kind of a soft end and kind of a hard end. The hard end is very fibrous. doesn't cut very easily, so we cut around it, cut it out. Then you can cut the soft end off and make a slice down the side. Take the spoon, and you're just gonna slide that spoon right around just under the skin. On the top, down the side, and around the bottom. And I'm not worried too much about any of the loss of orange or even any of the white skin left on the orange. Dice that. And into the salad. Now this little bit of orange juice on the cutting board is great for my apple. It keeps it from browning. Cut this little bit of core out. Wash your hands frequently just to make sure that you're going to be safe and to make sure that you don't cross-contaminate any of your food or dairy. And that gets a nice stir and a little lemon juice. Those chia seeds and the raisins all throughout, lemon juice all over everything. So the next bit here, we're gonna lay out our beautiful salad containers, filling the long sections with some spinach. Put our beautiful sprouts right on top of the spinach. In each of the sections. Nice deep bed of sprouts. And these sprouts, I love to use them throughout the week on my breakfast sandwich. I'll have a lovely egg sandwich or bagel and then some sprouts, maybe some spinach on that as well. I don't have to worry about making my lunch, so I have plenty of time for making a good, healthy, nutritious breakfast. Lots of protein to get me through the day. Take my beautiful grain and bean and beet salad, all those lovely other vegetables. I put that in there. Spread it all out. What I find is I pretty much regularly end up with exactly the right amount to fill my containers, each of the different salads each week. I don't end up with a lot of leftovers of my salads, which in a way is kind of disappointing, but at the same time, you know, it's a nice container. This activity is completed. I have this food for my week. You know, I don't have to worry too much about, oh wow, I just had that for lunch, I don't want that for dinner. Making some space for the garnishes that I told you about. Then I'll take this lovely topping here. I've got the carrots and the radishes, a little bit more of that cilantro and celery and green onions that I added to the grain salad, and just top that off there. That sesame oil, so good. Smells nice. Fruit salad section. On the fruit salad, I like to put a little coconut. Put that right on top. Fill those beds right up with that. Just like candy. It's an extra little treat at the end of the meal. And then these beautiful macadamia nuts. Just a few of those right on top. The macadamia nuts are quite expensive, but just a few, and this bag lasts so many weeks. Definitely worth the money. Barely made a dent. Just ready for next week. So now, this is the design phase of the meal, so I'm being very mindful of the appearance. Crumbling this feta so that it's nice and even, and getting it for each one of these beautiful salads. My philosophy is that the meal made with love today is going to give me peace of mind throughout the week and gives me time to address my attention to the things throughout the week that are going to be important to me at that time. Vegetables. So I'm going to take these peppers. I'm going to make little flowers with these peppers, so they're going to be so pretty. Greeting me every day, lunchtime. I'm going to open the refrigerator. I'm going to take out this wonderful fresh meal prepared with love. One of my philosophies with nutrition is any meal made with love is 10 times better for you than the same exact ingredients prepared by, you know, just a factory or coming out of a box. The only way to know 100% exactly what you're putting into your body is to make it yourself. An hour or two on a Sunday afternoon, what else are you going to do? Real opportunity to do something wonderful, a gift to yourself throughout the week. Can be a beautiful art form every single day. And then each one is going to get a beautiful mushroom. And so just take the mushroom, make these beautiful cuts like this. Really delicate and beautiful slices of mushrooms, and those look so nice on top. Standing here in my kitchen, I'm so relaxed. I'm so grateful for all that I have. And I'm thanking the earth for all this beautiful food. I'm grateful to my future self, who's going to be so appreciative of this beautiful work that I'm doing now. I don't have to worry about it later in the week. I don't have to think about where my lunch is coming from, but it's a lot easier for me to say no to the pizza when I know such a beautiful and lovingly crafted meal is waiting for me. All right. Now for a few tomatoes, so I have 10 tomatoes, that's 2 each box. I'm just going to quarter them. And that is it. That is a week of lunch. And one of the aspects of carbohydrates is that the sugars in your system, they do tend to break down pretty quickly. And what that can end up happening is making you feel hungry again really soon. So it's good to limit that so that you can feel nice and full. When you combine a bean and a grain, this gives you the combination of amino acids that will create a complete protein. So when you're creating a vegan meal and you're not going to include any meat or any kind of animal products, make sure that you have the appropriate nutrients by combining these. This is something that I learned about in the USDA program that I worked for many years. The combination of beans and grains is something that's culturally been known. Various cultures have meals and different kinds of grain combinations. In Tompkins County, we have a variety of places that you can drop off your food scraps, compost, and so if you collect those, they can even give you a bucket for collecting your compost scraps. And of course, the last thing that anybody wants to think about after they've made a delicious meal is the cleanup. But one thing that can make the cleanup an enjoyable part and less of a chore is to do the cleanup mindfully, to put your entire mind to the task, rather than perseverating on, oh, I'm the only person who ever does this, going into any of those negative spirals. Change that up. Be mindful while you're practicing. Gratitude, all of the beautiful food that I'm going to get to eat all week long. Feeling this wonderful silky foam that's coming from my sponge. Practicing appreciation for everything. Instead of complaining that I have so many dishes to do, you know, appreciate each one. the function that it served. You know, when I reach about Thursday, usually every week, my sprouts grow to a point that they don't fit in my mason jar anymore. And then I rinse them out and I put them in my salad spinner, and they grow even more. And I have so many wonderful sprouts each week. Wow, I'm so glad I got to have that wonderful experience of making a fabulous, nutritious meal. Really, it takes no time at all. You know, there's a comfort in our negativity. We wouldn't be negative and complaining and griping about everything all the time if it didn't have some kind of appeal. It's also humbling and spiritful to say, but I don't want a dishwasher. I love to examine and appreciate my fantastic high quality tools. It's your choice. You can be mindful or not. It's up to you.
Voices and hearts come to sing together. Oh yeah, so maybe we want to begin by just taking a few deep breaths.
Next week on Teaching Ithaca Wellness.
I'm all about the story, so let me start with my story and then tell you how I got to the story. I was a lowly young member, 26 years old, but I had a master's degree in health administration. They said, "Little girl, come over here. You're our new CEO, acting." Oh, for the next 27 years, I was the CEO, and I loved every minute of it. And after 27 years, I had a chance to take early retirement, and I did because I thought I should. And so I said, here I am, and what is it that I really want to do? Most counselors of any variety start out, the first visit is they have a 13 or 15, I don't know, page questionnaire. I thought to myself one day, you know, I wonder what would happen if I just asked them what they wanted to talk about. And the short way of putting that is that I've never turned it back over. Tell me your story. Start wherever you want, but end up with you sitting in that chair over there, across from me.
These spiritual window shoppers who idly ask, how much is that? Oh, I'm just looking. They handle 100 items and put them down. Shadows with no capital. What is spent is love, and 2 eyes wet with weeping. But these walk into a shop, and their whole lives pass suddenly in that moment, in that shop. Where did you go? Nowhere. What did you have to eat? Nothing much. Even if you don't know what you want, buy something. Be part of the general exchange. Start a huge, foolish project like Noah. It makes absolutely no difference what people think of you.
It's not going to feel good, but you just have to be fierce. Got this. You got it. You got it.
I am here tonight. This year is a year of blossoming. Bicycles, move to the corner of your seat to give your legs space to move in front of you. Lean back and just do a little bicycle rolling. Make this into Pilates by counting each breath 4 bicycles. Laya Yoga is also known as Kundalini. and is a school of yoga that is influenced by Shaktism and Tantra, schools of Hinduism. It awakens the Kundalini energy, regular practice of meditation, pranayama, chanting, and mantra, and yoga asana.